All right, everyone, get ready because today we are taking a deep dive into the world of Bridgestone.
Bridgestone, yeah.
You know them for tires, of course,
Right.
but they are becoming so much more than that.
Absolutely.
And we've got their 2024 integrated report.
Okay.
So this is going to be fun.
Sounds good.
We are going to look at some of their business strategies, financial performance, and also their commitment to sustainability.
Right.
And we're really going to see how Bridgestone is trying to create value, not just for shareholders, but for society as a whole.
It's interesting you say that because one of the things that really stood out to me in this report was their mission statement.
Okay.
Serving society with superior quality. And it's not just an empty slogan. They really seem to be living it.
Yeah.
This mission was established way back in 1968, the same year they won the prestigious Deming Application Prize.
I did not know that.
And it really underscores their belief in using business as a force for good in the world.
It's almost like their founder had a crystal ball or something, because he famously said, a business that contributes to its society and country will be forever profitable. And you can see that philosophy really woven into everything that Bridgestone does even today.
Absolutely. They've even coined a term for it. Dantatsu.
Dantatsu, okay.
It embodies their ambition to be the undisputed leader in every segment they operate in.
I like that. So they're not just sitting back on their, tire empire.
No.
They're actively diversifying and innovating.
Exactly.
So let's break down those business segments because
Okay.
they have four main areas: premium tire, solutions, exploratory, and diversified products.
All right.
We're going to start with the one that we all know, premium tire.
Sure.
So this is their core business, right? High quality tires for cars, trucks, motorcycles, everything.
It is, but even within this core segment, they're not standing still.
Okay.
They're laser focused on developing premium tires that are more sustainable, more fuel efficient, and technologically advanced.
So they're not just making tires, they're making the tires of the future.
That's a great way to put it.
All right, now let's move on to the solutions segment.
All right.
This is where things start to get really interesting to me.
I think so too.
Tell me about the growth they're seeing in this segment.
The solutions segment is all about providing a complete ecosystem around those premium tires.
Okay.
So think retail and service networks, fleet management programs, and even digital solutions.
So it's like a holistic approach.
Yeah, and it's a really smart move on their part
Okay.
because it allows them to build deeper relationships with their customers and offer a more comprehensive suite of services.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not just going to sell you tires, we're going to help you manage your entire mobility needs.
Exactly.
Okay, now on to the exploratory business.
Right.
This is where it seems like they're stepping outside of their comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So tell me about some of the things they're doing in this area.
So the exploratory business is all about investing in those really innovative ideas that could completely revolutionize mobility as we know it. We're talking things like air-free tires. So imagine never having to worry about a flat tire again.
Right.
And even soft robotics. So they're really planting seeds for the future.
Wow. It's exciting to think about where those explorations could lead.
Yeah, I think so too.
Air-free tires. Man, sign me up.
Right.
Okay, but we can't forget about the diversified products segment.
True.
So what's going on over there?
This segment focuses on those specialized tires that are made for very specific industries,
Okay.
like mining and aviation. So think those massive heavy-duty tires for mining trucks,
Oh, yeah.
or specialized tires for airplanes.
So they're really leveraging their expertise in some pretty niche markets.
Absolutely. And while it's a smaller part of their overall business,
Okay.
it's still a significant contributor.
Makes sense. All right, we've got a pretty solid understanding of how Bridgestone is strategically diversifying its business.
Yes.
But now let's talk numbers. How did their 2023 financial performance look?
They did really well.
Yeah.
They reported revenue of 4,313.8 billion JPY.
Wow.
Which is a significant jump from previous years. And what's even more impressive is their adjusted operating profit, 480.6 billion JPY.
Okay, so they're not just growing, they're growing profitably.
Exactly.
That's what we like to see. But I'm curious, what were the main drivers behind this strong performance?
Well, a lot of it has to do with their strategic shift towards the solutions business.
Right.
As we were talking about, that segment is experiencing rapid growth.
Yeah.
And it's contributing significantly to their bottom line.
Okay, but were there any other factors at play here?
Yeah, a couple of other things.
Okay.
Their focus on premium tires, especially in those emerging markets like India and Indonesia,
Ah, smart.
They're tapping into a growing middle class or a
Okay.
growing demand for high-quality, durable tires.
Right.
So Bridgestone is really well positioned to capitalize on that trend.
Makes sense. But what about rising costs? I know that's been a concern across the entire industry.
It has raw material costs, energy costs,
Yeah.
but Bridgestone has done a really good job of implementing cost optimization initiatives.
Okay.
So things like strategic price adjustments
Yeah.
and making their manufacturing processes more efficient.
So they're staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and that has allowed them to maintain a really healthy operating profit margin,
Yeah.
even with all the global economic challenges.
So they're making smart moves to control those costs and protect their profitability,
Yeah,
which is reassuring to hear.
definitely.
Okay, but let's take a closer look at their financials now and look at some key metrics,
Right.
starting with their income statement.
Sure.
What story does that tell?
I think their income statement really paints a very clear picture of their overall growth trajectory.
Okay.
As we mentioned, revenue growth has been driven by that expansion of their solutions business
Right.
and their success in those emerging markets with their premium tires.
Yeah.
And despite those rising costs, they've been able to maintain a healthy gross profit margin,
Okay.
which shows their pricing power and their effectiveness at managing costs.
Good stuff. All right, now what about their balance sheet? What does that tell us?
Their balance sheet is rock solid.
Okay.
They have an equity ratio of 61.8%.
All right, so not overly reliant on debt.
Exactly. Which gives them a lot of financial flexibility,
Right.
makes them less vulnerable to those economic downturns.
So they're not drowning in debt, always a good sign.
Definitely a good sign.
Okay, how about their cash flow statement? What can we learn from that?
Their cash flow statement reveals a really healthy business.
All right.
They're generating very strong cash flow from their operations,
Okay.
which is absolutely crucial for funding their growth initiatives, paying dividends, and reducing debt if they need to.
Okay, and speaking of cash flow, I want to touch on free cash flow.
Yeah.
Because this is a really key indicator of a company's financial health, right?
Absolutely. Free cash flow represents the cash that a company has left over after paying for its operating expenses and capital expenditures.
Okay.
So it's really the money that they have available to invest in new opportunities, pay dividends, buy back shares, or just keep as a cushion for any unexpected events.
Right, so it gives them options.
Yes,
And it sounds like Bridgestone's in a very good position there.
they are. They have a strong free cash flow position.
Okay, so let's talk about how they're planning to use that cash flow to create shareholder value, because they did mention dividends.
Right. They've announced a dividend of 200 JPY per share for 2023,
Okay,
which is a significant increase from previous years.
that's a good chunk of change.
It is. And it really signals their confidence in future earnings growth and their commitment to sharing those profits with their investors.
A nice reward for those who are invested in Bridgestone's journey.
Absolutely.
Okay, but what about share buybacks? Are those on the table at all?
While they haven't specifically announced any share buyback plans in this latest report,
Okay.
their strong free cash flow position definitely gives them the flexibility to pursue that strategy in the future.
Right, they've got the cash flow if they decide to go that route.
Exactly. And share buybacks can be a really effective way to return value to shareholders,
Okay.
especially if the company believes that their shares are undervalued.
So it's something to keep an eye on.
Definitely.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, from their diverse business segments to their strong financial performance and their commitment to returning value to shareholders. But before we move on, I want to step back a little bit
Okay.
and assess the business as a whole moving forward. So what are some of the challenges and opportunities they face in this ever-evolving landscape?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The global shift towards electric and autonomous vehicles,
Yeah.
that presents both opportunities and challenges for Bridgestone.
I can see that because on the one hand, the decline in demand for traditional combustion engine vehicles could impact their core tire business.
Right.
But on the other hand, they seem to be adapting pretty well with those futuristic tires.
They are investing heavily in research and development to create tires specifically designed for electric vehicles. And those tires need to have a lower rolling resistance to maximize the battery range.
Yeah.
And Bridgestone is at the forefront of that innovation.
And their solutions business, with that focus on fleet management and digital solutions, seems well positioned to capitalize on the rise of connected and automated transportation.
For sure, they're not just reacting to these changes. They're
Okay.
actively shaping the future of mobility.
Okay, well, on that note, think we need to take a quick break.
All right.
When we come back, we're going to dig into those fascinating innovations like the air-free tires.
Sounds good.
And, of course, their impressive commitment to sustainability. So stay with us.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how Bridgestone is shaping the future of mobility.
Yes.
And one of the ways they're doing that is by really focusing on sustainability.
And, it's not just lip service.
Right.
They're walking the walk with this mobile laboratory concept,
I like that.
using motorsports like Formula E racing and the World Solar Challenge as testing grounds for their sustainable technologies.
It's pretty genius.
Yeah.
They're really pushing the limits of innovation in those high-performance environments.
Yeah.
And then those advancements eventually trickle down to the tires on our everyday cars.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes you wonder what our daily commutes are going to be like in just a few years.
Yeah.
But let's get specific. What kind of sustainability targets have they set?
They've got some pretty ambitious goals.
Okay.
By 2030, they're aiming to reduce their CO2 emissions by 50%.
Okay.
And then by 2050, they want to achieve full carbon neutrality.
Wow.
But here's the really impressive part.
Okay.
In 2023, they reported a 57% reduction in emissions
Really?
already. So they're way ahead of schedule.
That's amazing. But how are they achieving this?
It's a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
So they're shifting to renewable energy sources for their factories.
Okay.
They're making their manufacturing processes more energy efficient.
Right.
And of course, developing those innovative tire technologies.
Right. Enlighten.
Yeah, and like,
I want to hear more about that because we touched on it briefly before the break.
yeah.
It's not just about fuel efficiency, though, right?
You're right.
There's more to it.
Enlighten is a game changer on multiple fronts.
Okay.
So these tires are lighter, they're stronger, they're more durable.
So it's about performance, too.
It is, and they're even using Enlighten in Formula E racing,
Wow.
which is a real testament to those performance capabilities.
Yeah, that's a tough proving ground.
It is.
So they're not sacrificing performance for sustainability.
No,
They're enhancing both.
absolutely.
That's pretty cool. But what about the whole circular economy concept?
Yes.
Are they doing anything in that realm?
That is absolutely a cornerstone of their sustainability strategy.
Okay.
So they're expanding their retread business, which essentially gives tires a second life.
Right.
Reduces waste, reduces the need for new resources.
It's like tire recycling, but on a whole new level.
Exactly.
But are they doing anything else besides retreading?
Oh, definitely. They're exploring new tire recycling technology and looking at alternative materials as well.
All right. Like what?
One of the really exciting developments is their work with guayule.
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 What is that?
It's a desert shrub
Okay.
that can be used as a sustainable alternative to natural rubber.
Interesting.
So Bridgestone is investing in research to see how they can use guayule to create these high-performance, eco-friendly tires.
It's like they're looking at every single stage of a tire's life cycle and finding ways to make it more sustainable.
They are?
Okay, but sustainability is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Right.
They're also really big on this good business quality concept.
Yes.
So how do they define that?
It's really about operating in a way that benefits everyone involved.
Okay.
So employees, customers, communities, and the planet.
It's a holistic approach.
Yeah, and it's about creating a culture of continuous improvement and empowering employees to make a real difference.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how they're fostering this good business quality within their organization.
Well, they have this very unique program called the Deming Plan,
Okay.
based on the principles of W. Edwards Deming,
Uh-huh.
who was a pioneer in the field of quality management.
Okay.
And the basic idea is to create this cycle of plan, do, check, act.
Okay.
So it's a constant process of evaluating, refining, improving every single aspect of their operations.
So it's not a one-time thing. It's about building this culture of continuous improvement.
That's exactly it.
But how do they get everyone on board with that?
They actually created this really interesting booklet.
Okay.
It outlines the 5 core concepts of the Deming Plan, and it's given to every employee, no matter what their role is or where they're located.
So everyone's literally on the same page.
Yes.
It's like their quality Bible.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's not just theory, right?
No, definitely not.
How does this Deming Plan actually play out in real life?
Well, one of the things they do is they have these global TQM, total quality management activities,
Yeah.
and they bring together employees from all over the world to share best practices
Oh, wow.
and collaborate on solutions to those complex challenges.
So it's not just about working in silos.
No,
It's about creating this sense of collective learning and improvement.
Exactly. And they have some really interesting examples of how this works.
Okay, like what?
Well, they hold this annual group global TQM conference
Okay.
where employees from different departments and regions can showcase their innovative projects.
Yeah.
They learn from experts, they network with each other.
So it's a giant think tank for quality and innovation.
I think that's a great way to put it.
I bet there's some amazing stories that come out of these conferences.
Absolutely. In their 2024 report, they highlighted a story about an employee who attended one of these conferences
Uh-huh.
and was so inspired by what they saw
Okay.
that they went back to their department
Yeah.
and implemented some really game-changing improvements.
So these conferences are actually sparking real change.
They are.
Wow, that's incredible.
It really shows how these initiatives can have a real ripple effect throughout the entire organization.
Yeah, the power of sharing knowledge and best practices.
Exactly.
Okay, but it's not just conferences and workshops.
Well,
Bridgestone also seems to be very focused on talent development.
absolutely. They recognize that their employees are the most valuable asset.
Right.
And they have this concept of talent creativity enhancement.
Oh, interesting.
It's all about fostering a culture where employees are encouraged to think outside the box,
Okay.
challenge assumptions, come up with those innovative solutions.
So they're tapping into the collective genius of their entire workforce.
Exactly.
That's a powerful concept. But what are some of the concrete ways that they're supporting talent development?
Well, they have a number of initiatives,
Oh.
but one that really stands out is the Digital 100 Days of Training. It's a program that focuses on equipping employees with the digital skills they need to really thrive in today's rapidly evolving world.
Smart. The world's becoming increasingly digital.
Yeah,
It's important to keep those skills sharp.
absolutely. But it's not just about the technical skills.
Right, because soft skills are becoming more and more important as well.
They are, and Bridgestone recognizes that.
Okay.
They're also emphasizing soft skills development, things like communication, collaboration, problem solving.
Yeah.
They really understand that building a well-rounded workforce is essential for long-term success.
So it's about creating a culture where employees feel empowered to learn, to grow, and to contribute their unique talents.
Exactly.
I'm really impressed with how Bridgestone is weaving these principles of good business quality into every single aspect of their operations.
Me too. They've really taken this concept beyond just a slogan and turned it into a real philosophy.
Yeah.
It's shaping their corporate culture. It's driving their journey towards a more sustainable and innovative future.
Okay. And one of the ways they're measuring their progress is through this really unique metric that they've developed.
Oh, tell me about that.
What is it?
They call it talent creativity.
Okay.
And they calculate it by taking their adjusted operating profit, which represents the value created,
Right.
and dividing it by their investment in talent development, which
Okay.
includes things like labor costs, training expenses, benefits.
A very interesting way to quantify their investment in their people
I think so too.
and see how that translates into real business results.
Absolutely. It really aligns perfectly with their belief that investing in employees is key to long-term success.
Yeah, they're not just talking about it, they're actually measuring it.
Yeah.
So that really demonstrates their commitment to making this a core part of their business strategy.
I agree.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from their impressive financial performance to their sustainability initiatives, their innovative technologies,
A lot.
and this really remarkable culture of good business quality they've cultivated.
It is impressive.
Bridgestone is clearly a company that's pushing boundaries and shaping the future of mobility.
They are. And it makes me wonder,
What?
what's the world of mobility going to look like in 10 years, in 20 years?
Yeah.
And what role will Bridgestone play in shaping that future?
That's a really exciting question to ponder.
It is.
And I have a feeling that Bridgestone will be right at the forefront, leading the charge with their innovative spirit,
I think so too.
their commitment to sustainability, and their dedication to empowering their employees to make a positive impact on the world.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think Bridgestone's story is a testament to the power of purpose-driven business.
Yeah,
And it's a really inspiring model for other companies to follow.
absolutely.
Well, that concludes our deep dive into the world of Bridgestone.
Yes.
We've explored their business strategies, financial performance, commitment to sustainability,
Uh-huh.
and their unique approach to creating this culture of good business quality.
Yeah, it's been an inspiring journey.
It has. I hope you've all gained some valuable insights from this.
We hope you enjoyed the ride.
And until next time, keep those wheels turning.